You know, we're going to later on, we're going to get into some qualifying here tomorrow, but what a field of entries so far that have put their names down to try to qualify.
And here we go. We got sleds on the racetrack. It is the single super stocks, and we'll meet the riders as they come out. First one to officially make their way out of the racetrack. The Anytime Towing 1974 Viking SS for Team Taylor Racing. Young man, just 18 years old, and right here in Sault Ste. Marie, the 98 of Jarrett Crimmin. Jarrett Crimmin was your first competitor. Right behind him, it was the Wilco's Farms 1978 Yamaha Enticer. 23-year-old from Scottsville, Michigan. Two-time defending race winner Chaz Major aboard the number 3 machine. Right behind him, the Nicolette Bank 1980 Yamaha Exciter, 63 years old from right here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Former Sault Ste. Marie Blue Devils hockey coach Fred Devano. Fred Devano with the number 15. Right behind him, the Big Daddy Motorsports 1980 Yamaha Enticer, 72 years old from Sheridan, Michigan. The 310 of Bobby Lynn Sr. Right behind him, aboard the Hadley Creek Outfitters 1980 Yamaha Enticer, 68-year-old rider from Brimley, Michigan, the 11, Joe Carrick. Joe Carrick aboard the 11 machine. And last but certainly not least, the Bay Area Demolition 1980 Yamaha Enticer, 23 years old from Traverse City, Michigan, number 8 of Dominic Zerniak. And Chaz Major already at the top of the charts, 59.962, 59.962. Track record for the single super stock set all the way back on February 3rd, 2016. Chris Kelly going up 57.994. So that is the track record for the single super stocks.
We look down there at these 340 single cylinder machines. This is an extremely long 2,000 foot straightaway for these machines there now as they continue to make their way down that back straightaway. But boy, oh boy, isn't that fantastic? The KLM Racing Bobby Lynn Sr. 70, what was he, 70?
72 years old.
72 years old out having fun on there. That is phenomenal.
And Chaz Major just went a 58.125, 58.125. Major, he's been dominant in the single super stocks. The 3-time defending race winner here in the Sioux Vintage Shootout. Major has picked himself up a few trophies of late. Since 2022, Chaz Major in 3 different divisions has gone to victory lane 6 times. I mean, he's up in the Aaron Christensen Gabe Bunky territory for feature wins here at the I-500.
A lot of Yamahas, in particular in this class. Is that Viking out there? That looks like the Viking.
Yeah, 98, Jarrett Kremen.
Yeah, absolutely. What a totally different hood style.
The sled is older than Jarrett Kremen, who's 18 years old.
That's my first Viking out there. What a beauty that is.
So Chaz Major goes to 58.125, almost 9 seconds quicker than the next competitor, Dominic Zerniak. A 107.238, a 107.238. So then in the 15 of Fred Devano, third quick at a 107.594. The 11 of Joe Carrick, 3-time Glass Series champion, senior champion, a 110.844. And then you got Dan Kremen as well, a 112.673 into single super stocks.
We just got a quick look there. The KLM Racing Yamaha Bobby Lynn Sr. just went by us in that 310 entry.
First ever appearance here at the I-500 for 72-year-old Bobby Lynn Sr. It's been a bucket list item for him his entire long-time competitor on the dirt at Crystal Motor Speedway.
Wow, that's awesome. Look at him heading down pit road there. Everybody give him acknowledgement. That's pretty cool.
Yes, indeed. Jumping into the 340 fan super stocks. First competitor on the racetrack, the Brand Sports Center 1978 Yamaha Exciter, 61 years old from Sheboygan, Michigan. The 02 of Bruce Brandt. Bruce Brandt in the 02. Right behind him, the Gallowar Construction 1978 Yamaha Exciter, 42 years old from Gatesville, Michigan. The 14, Dan Gallowar, the defending race winner in the 340 fan super stocks. Right behind him, the JB Design 1976 Yamaha SCX, 41 years old from across the bridge in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. 57 of Waylon Littleton. Right behind Littleton is the KS & Company Exteriors 1978 Yamaha Exciter, 43 years old, from Richards Landing, Ontario, Canada. Former Laird Raceway track champion Jeremy Van Hook. Jeremy Van Hook in the 75. Right behind him, the Molon Excavating 1980 John Deere Spitfire, 63 years old, from Suttons Bay, Michigan. The 70 of Paul Corson. Also, right behind is the number 11 back out there, the Hadley Creek Outfitters 1978 Yamaha Enticer. For Brilliant, Michigan's Joe Carrick, the 68-year-old. And Gallo Warwick goes a 52.552 here in the 340 Fan Superstocks. Not far off the track record for the
Run both the single Superstock and the 340 Fan Superstock. Two features of all solutions winning 5 disciplinary races. This year we're tuning in on FloRacing as Alex. The exclusive live and exclusive broadcast partner of the International 500 Cylinder Race. So big competition on board. it's kind of tough. You kind of got to guess at the temperatures as they change. You want to have it run in ideal conditions, but you got to find the fuel to that motor to keep the speed of the motor. And those tuning in on FloRacing, we do apologize about it. Side audio issues. We're looking at the ball switch situation. That's what today's thing. Make sure the balls are more powerful. Every year, we have to basically build an entire broadcast booth, an entire production studio here in the Jerkins Memorial Broadcast booth. And every year, we're not perfect. Some things we, well, like, you're over there, you know, your cough button, when people pull up with it. Well, but I'll tell you what, the people from FloRacing, Matt and the gang on the camera, Matt Smith and his group, they do such a wonderful job. It's always great to see Matt. The camera crew here is always staying, you know what, it's almost like brotherhood. And I seen the boys earlier this morning getting all ready, get the cameras all dialed in, and the guys from all over the place, Indianapolis, what else we got? Matt's from Iowa, Cedar Rapids, right? Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Indianapolis, Alabama, guys, that's a big point. But they're going to say, let's see, Pittsburgh, we got cameraman from Pittsburgh, yeah, we got it from all, we had one here from Texas, I don't know if he's here. We got one from Sheboygan. Remember, Slater gave up first year, he's supposed to do a lot, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember the first time the boy from Texas, boy, he had to go get some rubber. Yeah, he had to go down and get some phones. He said he was coming back. He wasn't missing this. He absolutely loved it. So, I mean, the gang from Florida, great job up there.
You can come in. Come on in. I'm live right now.
So coming up next, we're the 443 Air Super Sox. Track record for 443 Air, 45, 694.
just about, let's see. Just a couple missing from the F500s. Mark Silk in the 10, Cam Spencer in the 22, and Jake Parsons in the 73 have yet to qualify in the F500s. And we'll see. As the next group rolls out. Paul Corson back on the racetrack in the 70. Also, Corey Zerniak is back out. Paul Corson is a 440 fan superstock. Corey Zerniak is a 440 free air. So we'll see if they can beat the times currently held in the 440 free air by Chaz Major of 45.955. While Ryan Wolf with a new track record in the 440 fan superstocks of 46.378.
That's a pretty good looking run in that TMC Polaris that just went down under the bridge and around off turn 2.
47.894, 47.894. As Paul Corson in the 70 machine of 59.953, 59.593. And Corey Zerniak in the 80 of 58.116, 58.116.
Two John Deere liquefiers.
And Zerniak has a 440 fan superstock. And second lap there, a 46.600 for 6.600. That was Ryan Wolf, by the way, in the 440 free air. So a couple more coming down the front stretch. Once again, we appreciate your patience on FloRacing as we continue to work on the audio issues. We sounded like we were in a tunnel for a little while, but we think we got it figured out now. So Corson and Zerniak come across. Corson a 100.488, 100.488. Zerniak 57.924. 57.924. So Zerniak's time did not beat Chaz Major, while Paul Corson's time did not beat Ryan Wolf in those divisions respectively.
Team Barncat Racing team on those John Deeres. Paul Corson on that number 70.
And it's time for the Sportsman 600s. Coming up next. First up, the S&T Group 2000 Polaris XC, 42 years old from across the bridge. In Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada, the 46 of Mike Tatasciore. Mike Tatasciore in the 46, right behind him. The Albert Heating and Cooling 2000 Polaris, 41 years old from Rudyard, Michigan, 18 of Mike Kunzer. Mike Kunzer in the 18, right behind him. The Mickey Sleds and More 1999 Polaris, 60 years old from Bay City, Michigan, the 12 of Joe Mapes. Then you got the Anytime Towing 1999 Yamaha SRX, 18 years old from Sault Ste. Marie, the 98 of Jarrett Crimmin. Your first four in the Sportsman 600s. The fastest sleds today, and Tatasciore a 42.592. That didn't last long. Kunzer a 41.761. We'll get to that track record here in just a second. Joe Mapes won a 46.613. And the track record set back 1 year ago and change. On January 28th of 2025, Troy DeWald, a 39.812 is the track record for the Sportsman 600s, and he is entered in this division.
Here comes Tatasciore and Kunzer in behind them both. Those sleds running strong down that front straightaway.
Both improved. Tatasciore a 42.123, 42.123, but Kunzer goes a 40.068, 40.068.
Wow,
he's in Meyer shootout territory.
He's not far off that record of DeWald's there. So
Joe Mapes 45.637, 45.637. And Crimmin a 46.363, 46.363 for Jarrett Crimmin. You talk about the opposite ends of the spectrum. Jarrett Krimmer, the 18-year-old from right here in Sault Ste. Marie. He's running a single super stock and a Sportsman 600.
That's quite a difference.
From the top to the very bottom.
Yeah.
Mike Kunzer, quick time at a 40.068 here in the Sportsman 600. Just about wrapping up. Practice crew qualifying for the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout. Rick Federo's up here making sure we behave and don't say the F word and all that.
Straighten up, you boys.
Right. You know that F word, know what the F word is, right?
I'm not sure.
We're free. We're free here in the broadcast booth.
She's all left turns from here, man.
That's right. Next group out,
That's
the
Rick-
previous he mentioned,
Rick
Mickey Sleds and more, the 2000 Polaris XC, 56 years old, from Augrey, Michigan, the 21, Troy DeWald. Troy DeWald in the 21 machine. Right behind him, the Fringe Outfitters, 2000 Polaris XC SP, 40 years old from Thessaloniki, Ontario, Canada, 71, Tyler Fullerton. Tyler Fullerton in the 71, and right behind him, the KS and Company Exteriors 2000 Polaris, 42 years old from across the bridge, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada, 75, Ken Schwartz. And then you got the McCoy Racing 1996 Polaris, 32 years old from Daphne, Michigan, Colton Laxonen. Colton Laxonen in the 38 machine, Troy DeWald crosses.
That is a fast lap, I'll tell you.
39.397, that's a brand new track record. 39.397, new track record for the F6 for the Sportsman 600s.
And I'm going to say this lap's going to be quicker. You can just, it's amazing how you can tell. It's just absolutely smoking around here.
Oh my!
Many-time champion of the I-500, DeWald still.
Tyler Fullerton won a 42.628, but Troy DeWald, new Sportsman 600 track record. Let's see what he does here. 38.822. 38.822. Wow. We weren't expecting those times till tomorrow.
He just about overshot the return road there. Comes Ken Schwartz there under the bridge there, and Tyler Fullerton to fall
My
on that
goodness.
71. But that is smoking around here. DeWald, 38. What was it? 38 what?
38.822.
Oh my Lord. That is
Wow.
That is on the gas. That's on kill, not.
Oh, yeah. Colton Laxonen went a 47.321, 47.321. But Troy DeWald, a 38.822. Almost a second, breaking the track record.
Yeah, you know that.
He's not far from the old 600 modifies track record.
No kidding. You know that man is just an amazing racing family.
Wow.
Troy DeWalt, the father of world champion at Eagle River, Zach DeWalt. He runs at Mickey's factory, 57
And they-
Enduro sled.
And both Zach and Troy are teammates with James Hicks on that potent number 57. Mickey Sleds and more Polaris machine. You know, if you're a believer in numerology, it is the 57th running of the GFL Environmental International 500 Snowmobile Race.
Right.
The number 57, Mickey Sleds and more Polaris, ridden by Zach DeWald, James Hicks, and Troy DeWald. Oh boy.
Was Troy DeWalt born in 1957?
And Troy DeWald was born in 1969. He's 56 years old. He will turn 57
Oh, boy.
16 days from today.
Are you kidding me? Wow. Unbelievable.
So once again, we appreciate everyone tuning in on FloRacing, the live exclusive broadcast partner of the International 500 Snowmobile Race. We apologize earlier. We had some audio issues. It basically sounded like we were in a tunnel, trapped in a phone booth, trapped in a huge egg, is what it sounded like earlier. Let's go with that. As well as some computer issues. But it sounded like we were a phone booth, which is okay. We're good now. As the 29,000 texts have reminded me that we're good now. So thank you for everyone tuning in.
You're getting scolded over there, Matt. The fans are listening. That's all good news. There's a good group on board here in FloRacing. So that's if you joined us, thanks for joining us here in FloRacing. And if not, you want to get on board, get signed up, and get on board FloRacing.
So we do want to say a special get well soon, and we hope to see you here in a couple days. The Chief Tech Director, Billy Kreiderman, who's sitting at home watching FloRacing. He's a little under the weather. In hockey terms, we'll call it an upper body injury.
All I can say to Billy is Doc Robinson says keep hydrated.
That's
So
right.
Keep hydrated. That's Doc Robinson's recipe, Billy, to get better. So
That's right. But we know
see you
Billy.
Soon. We'll
Yes,
see you soon. We know that he can't stay away from here. He's gonna be here. You know, he's just mending up. And
yes, he is. He's resting up, getting ready for the week. So practice crew qualifying complete.
He's one of the great volunteers that volunteers so many hours, building the track and that here. You know, Billy's out here as well as many others, and he'll be here, no doubt about it. I'm not taking any bets against that.
No doubt. So here are your fast qualifiers for the 7 divisions. First up in the Sportsman 600, Troy DeWall, the number 21, Mickey Sleds and More, Polaris. A brand new Sportsman 600 track record, a 38.822. His previous record, which was his back on January 28th of last year when it was a 39.812. He just went a 38.822.
Wow.
F500s, number 19, Dustin Furex, setting quick time at a 44.426. The Taser Boatworks 1990 Polaris Indy, 40 years old from Hessel, Michigan. In the 440 Free Air Super Stocks, it was Chaz Major, the 2-time defending race winner. In the Wilco's Farms 1975 Yamaha Enticer, the 23-year-old from Scottville, Michigan, won a 45.955 to set fast time in the 440 Free Air Super Stocks. In the 340 Free Air Super Stocks, Guy Geimer, the 45-year-old from Saginaw, Michigan. The Castle X 1979 Polaris, Geimer going a 47.894 for fast time in the 340 Free Air Super Stocks. The 440 Fan Super Stocks, Ryan Wolf breaking his own track record. In those 440 Fan Super Stocks, his record was a 46.525. Wolf, the 44-year-old from Grand Blanc, Michigan, won a 46.378. So congratulations to Wolf. In that Wallace Lawn Care 1981 Polaris TXC. In the 340 Fan Super Stocks, Jeremy Van Hook, quick time, former Laird Raceway track champion. In the Outlaw Super Late Models, finished 6th this past season up at Laird, over at Greg Brazu's house up there at Laird Raceway. Good buddy Donnie Varco and the entire Varco family do a great job up there. I've got my enhanced license now, so I can go up and see them up at Laird Raceway.
Oh, you're going to come our way?
I think so. I think I'm going to.
Well, we look forward to seeing you up there.
Yeah, the KS and Company Exteriors, 1978 Yamaha Exciter, the 43-year-old from Richards Landing, Ontario, Canada, Jeremy Van Hook, quick time at a 54.484. And Chaz Major was quick again in the single super stocks, the Wilco's Farms, 1978 Yamaha Enticer, the 23-year-old from Scottville, Michigan, setting quick time at a 58.125. We will take a short pause in the action while heat races get all lined up and get ready to go. We certainly appreciate you tuning in, whether you're on property here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, or live on FloRacing's live broadcast. It is opening day, Bud Clark Day, day number 3 officially of the 57th running of the GFL Environmental International's 500 Snowmobile Race Week. We will be back here in just a few minutes with heat race action for the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout.
do what you're doing. Don't worry about that.
And we're back on the racetrack. It is single super stocks heat race number 1. As we are just about set to go, the green flag is out. There you go. Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't hear you. Check.
We didn't plug it in. We didn't plug it. We haven't had a chance to plug it in yet. We'll get her done. Single super stocks are out. First heat race. It is the Wilco's Farms 1978 Yamaha Enticer, 23 years old from Scottville, Michigan. Number 3 at Chaz Major starting on the pole. And we got trouble already as the red flag has come out. We'll get the rest of the starting lineup. The JRP Salvage 1979 Yamaha Enticer, 40 years old from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. 12 of Jake Porco. Then you've got the Big Daddy Motorsports 1980 Yamaha Enticer, 72 years old from Sheridan, Michigan. A 310 of Bobby Lynn Sr. And last but certainly not least, it is the Anytime Towing 1973 Yamaha, or 1973 Viking SS, a 59-year-old from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. The 98X of Dan Crimmen. That is your field. So we got Spanky's new toy that we're in the middle of putting together as we get going here.
We needed a cough button, and we had
right, and we
in a guitar tuner. So
what happened? So it's kind of a somber last 24 hours because if those remember, Lake Superior State would help us out prior to FloRacing coming on. Well, we kept some of the, well, we didn't keep it. It was left here. Some equipment from Lake Superior State. And we have been using, ever since, even with FloRacing coming on board, we use some equipment from Lake Superior State. Well, the final 2 pieces of equipment both went home to be with the Lord in the last 24 hours.
So if you would bow your head for a minute.
Yes, we'll bow and pray, if we could, please.
Minute silence.
Yes.
For the, boy, it was sure good for a couple years. Amen.
Amen. So there you go. So we have one sled that is stopped here on the front stretch. That is the reason for the caution flag. This is a single super stock heat race. First of 2 heat races, 4 laps apiece.
Like I mentioned, these straightaways extremely long for a single cylinder to make that long pull down that 2,000-foot straightaway. And if you don't have the right jets in there, maybe the motor doesn't like that.
So just getting going here in just a second as we get one sled off the pace. So we see that sled being hauled off. It is Dan Crimmen, the 98 machine. Had troubles in qualifying here a little while ago. The problem's still not quite corrected as of yet. So everyone's gonna, this will set the inside rows for the feature tonight, later on. So unfortunately for Crimmen, with only 4 starting this heat race, he'll be scheduled to go inside of row number 4 for tonight's feature event for the single super stocks. So we're in the midst of putting together Spanky's cough button. If you're an audio, and if you're a broadcaster, you're kind of like an audio engineer, any kind of audio person at all, you know exactly what we're talking about. For those that don't, what a cough button is basically I could be talking right now, and literally if you you cough, right? Well, if a cough comes along or you got to take a drink or something, you just hit the button. And now you can't hear me right now, but you can hear it through Spanky's voice. The reason why you can hear me is because Spanky does not have a cough button. He is completely live all the time.
I can't hear you in my earphones.
Right.
But you know what? I don't know. That might be better.
Right,
You
right.
talk loud, man.
And that's the thing. That's the thing too, right? That's the thing too. And it's how Spanky and I, we're right next to each other, but it's the way it's the way we can 100% hear each other. Right now, Spanky can't hear me, which may not be such a bad thing, but I can hear Spanky just fine.
Did you say hello to this fine lady?
Marcy
up in the booth?
Fiorek is up here. Yeah.
You know what? I was just saying to Mars when she come in that, it's got to be something. Dustin running good here today. The young daughter raced in the school.
The Wall Service Solutions Mini 5 Kids
Right,
Snowmobile races
and-
won the Super Mod 120
and
feature.
the little one, I believe, on the number 19 Arctic Cat. That was the first races. Am I right,
Yeah.
Mars? And I was standing beside Carson, and I knew that he was just having a real hard time with it. Everybody was racing in the family but him, and he's been doing quite well.
What was he grounded? Is that what was happening?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me up here. I appreciate, love having be up here with you guys. Every year you bring me up here. It's an honor to be up here. But to get back to that is Carson's 12.
Okay.
Out in Wisconsin, they do allow those kids to run those 120s. We have a super mod, and he could run it. However, I feel if you're 12 running a F500 at 78, 79 mile an hour, I don't think you should be on a 120. So I did put my foot down and I shifted gears and said, we're going to let your sister run that super mod and give her some laps. out there.
My personal on that, I feel that you're a mean mother.
You're a mean mother. That's funny.
Mother of the year, I'd like
Carson's
to say.
on my side.
We have some live action here on the track, guys.
Yes, we do. Dominic Zerniak of the Bay Area Demolition, 1980 Yamaha Enticer. The 23-year-old from Traverse City, Michigan, also in the field, as well as the Nicolay Bank, 1980 Yamaha Exciter. 63 years old from Sioux, right here in the Sioux, Fred Devano. Are out there, so it looks like we're going to drop it down to one heat race, and we have one sled that's off the pace again right here at the start.
Yeah, one did not leave the line. It's stalled on the start now as the track workers out to assist to that one as the field heads down off turn 3.
And what you see, I mean, these sleds are vintage.
Yeah.
So anything can really happen with these sleds. So
And that is Jake Porco, the 40-year-old from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada, from across the bridge. The JRP Salvage 1979 Yamaha Enticer. So, Marcy, did you know we had a 1973 Viking SS out there? How old were you in 1973?
I was not even thought of.
I was not even thought of for a year. Spanky was 24 years old.
I was. What year do you think I was born?
I'm just messing.
Somebody's got to be wrong about that math. I
Right.
don't know.
It's American math. That's what that was.
You were just a young buck back then. Still are.
Yeah, I was a year away from being thought of.
All right. Yeah. I was born in 1991, to answer.
You were not even up.
Not even in a
No.
blip.
1973, I think I was sitting in the principal's office.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I think that's true story.
Next to your buddies.
Next to Dave Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
he was
know-
sitting right next to you.
You know Dave Johnson, yes, sir.
You know, back then, they could break the belt out, right?
Yes, I felt the effects of that various times.
Some say they should bring that back. But I digress. No.
Well, Spanky did,
Yeah.
he did say I was a mean mom.
Oh, well, there you go.
So,
There you
I
go.
mean,
Carson's on my side now. I'm
Yeah.
yeah, he's going to listen to this back.
We thought Carson was grounded or something. We didn't know.
Carson down in the race trailer?
He's actually at basketball practice.
Oh,
Basketball game
a
tomorrow.
basketball player.
Green flag is back out. We'll try it a third time. Hopefully the third time's a charm. Chaz Major out in front. Your fast qualifier again today for the second year in a row. He's a 3-time defending race winner here in the single Super Sox. A 23-year-old from Scottville, Michigan.
I saw something on Facebook. They were chasing another win here, so they're looking to do it again here on this track.
He has 6 career wins here at the I-500, including 3 in 2024, 2 last year, 7 actually. I missed one. He has 7 feature wins. He is definitely up in the Gabe Bunky, Aaron Christensen territory.
Yeah, and at just 23 years old.
Right. It's not going to be too far long before we see Chaz Major running with the big dogs in the I-500.
Do you see that? That green flag is still waving. We're going to get a
Yes,
whole lap.
our
in
first
here.
lap. We finally got a lap in.
Here comes Chaz under the bridge there, looking real good in that Yamaha, number 3 on the side.
Yep, and Devano in second. No, to check that, Zerniak in second. So the single Super Stocks, one of 7 divisions here in the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout. Bobby Lynn Sr. was one of the sleds that was originally out on the original start, did not come back to answer the call. And of course we saw Dan Crimmen in the 98X machine try to get going, and then Jake Porco that last caution.
A little bit tough looking down into that sun here. We're not used to that here. I like it, but a little bit tough to see as you look down that straightaway.
For sure, as Chaz Major with a very comfortable lead in the number 3 machine, looking to another heat race win. This will be his 3rd year in a row, should he hang on for this.
So the top 2 drivers right now, they're 23 years old. And then you have the 15 of Fred Devano, and then the number 11 here.
Joe
That is
Carrick,
Joe
yep.
Carrick. They are in their 60s. There's a big age gap here. On
Quite
the
a
track.
bit. There's something to be said about the youth movement in the Sioux Vintage Shootout here.
Yeah.
Yeah, a pair of 23-year-olds. Good call there, Marcy. Chaz Major, your leader. Dominic Zerniak in second. And the checkered flag, whoa, looks to come out. And Chaz Major will win the heat race. The 7-time winner here in the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout picks up another heat race win. His 3rd in a row here in the single Super Stocks.
I think I just seen Chaz reach down and turn the nitrous off there. He reached down.
I think that's the lube button.
Dominic Zerniak comes home in second.
You guys are talking about the age of this. I believe in this next heat, do we have the 7?
This and the original starting line.
72 years old, still out there having fun. See, I got a ways to go yet.
So Fred Devano finishes 3rd. Joe Carrick finishes in 4th. So Chaz Major, the 23-year-old from Scottville, Michigan, and Wilco's Farms, 1978 Yamaha Enticer, picking up his 6th career heat race win. First of the day. So he should be rolling into 340 Fan Super Stocks coming up next. Jerry Van Hook was your fast qualifier today with a 54.484. And Spanky, you know a little bit about Mr. Van Hook, a longtime competitor there at the Laird Raceway. Up, what is it, about 45 minutes north of us up here?
Yeah, absolutely. Down in Echo Bay area there, Laird, Ontario. Yeah, we traded some paint on the stock car track a bit.
Yeah, there you go.
But I was looking a lot at the back end of his car. He's a pretty fast runner.
No doubt. 2010 Outlaw Super Late Model Track champion, has finished in the top 6 the last 3 years in Outlaw Super Late Models there at Laird. Last year, a 6th place finish. And now has come to see us from time to time here at the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout. The KS & Company Exteriors 1978 Yamaha Exciter for sled owner Ken Schwarz. Saw Ken Schwarz in one of the oddest places over the summer. Was down at Plymouth Motor Speedway in Plymouth, Indiana for a Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series race. They also had support division, street stocks, compacts, and that. Ken Schwarz made the trip down from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, competing with the street stocks there in Plymouth, Indiana.
Nice. Yeah, I know he has a nice looking street stock machine there, Ken. I might be for sale. Get your
I
wallet
believe he
out.
got a top 5 finish, if I'm not mistaken.
Get your wallet out. I think that car's for sale.
Nah, I'm good
You
with
want to
what
come to Laird, get your wallet out and drive around there.
I'm good with what I do.
I'll change that left front tire for you.
Right? Just the left front. That's it.
Right, it's the right side you need to put one on, not the left. Right.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's right. That's right. 340 Fan Super Stocks rolling up. next as standing starts with a 340 with all the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout competitors. As we're kicking off opening day, Bud Clark Day here at the I-500 racetrack in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Officially day 3 of the 57th running of GFL Environmental International 5-Hour Snowmobile Race Week as the green flag is out. And here's your lineup. On the pole, the Gallo-Warwick Construction 1978 Yamaha Exciter, 42 years old from Gatesville, Michigan, at 14, a Dan Gallo-Warwick. Alongside your fast qualifier, the KS & Company Exteriors 1978 Yamaha Exciter, 43 years old from Richards Landing, Ontario, Canada, 75, Jeremy Van Hook. Then you've got the Hadley Creek Outfitters 1978 Yamaha Enticer, 68 years old from Brilliant, Michigan. Just saw him finish 4th in a single super stocks. Number 11 is Joe Carrick. And then you got the Mullen Excavating 1980 John Deere Sportfire, 53 years old from Suttons Bay, Michigan, the 70 of Paul Corson. Now, I hear John Deere, and I think lawnmowers.
They made those were pretty sharp, those liquid fires and sport fires, and nice looking machine.
Dan Gallo-Warwick, the defending race winner for the 340 Fan Super Stocks out in front. Jeremy Van Hook riding in second spot. They got Joe Carrick, the 3-time Glass Series senior champion, in third. And Paul Corson rounding out the field. Gallo-Warwick, defending race winner also.
Gallo-Warwick Yamaha, boy, that's running real quick down the back straightaway. Van Hoyt not able to catch him. I think Gallo-Warwick's increasing that lead every lap here.
Picked up a heat race win 1 year ago in the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout from 2025. Just kind of the way the calendar turned over. Last year's I-500 was on February 1st. We started with the Wall Service Solutions Mini 5 Kids Snowmobile races on February 1st of 2026. Just the way the calendar kind of turned. So we actually kind of gained a week.
Yeah, absolutely, which gave them an opportunity to get some more ice on the track. And we've had quite the winter and cold snap up here, so this track is just outstanding looking.
Over 2 million gallons of water. And Gallo-Warwick may be off the pace, up in turn number 3. And that's going to give the lead to Jeremy Van Hook, who goes to the inside. Tough break. My goodness.
The Yamaha was running just
yes,
a little bit too good, maybe possibly squeaked the motor. We'll have to wait and see, but boy, that's tough for Gallo-Warwick. You're Jeremy Van Hoyk here.
That local driver out of Gatesville, Michigan, the number 14, so tough break for him. And it looks like we have one maybe slowed up on the pace coming down the stretch, the front stretch here.
It seems like it, doesn't it? But it looks like it goes to the inside. So trying to come down, Jeremy Van Hoyk.
Van Hoyt slowing down now. So
and he gets the checkered, though, so he's going to take the win.
Oh, there goes Van Hoyt now.
Yep,
so
Van
make
Hoyt.
that turn down.
Yep, he just barely
into the
made
pit
it.
Road.
Joe Carrick finishes in second.
Well, that's tough for Mr. Gallo-Warwick. The machine motionless there.
Yeah, tough break for Dan Gallo-Warwick. So that will put Paul Corson into third. Here in heat race number 1 for the 340 Fan Super Stocks. And Corson seems to have some issues coming out of turn number 4.
They are vintage sleds after all.
It's the biggest track. They don't run in anything even close to the length of the track here at the I-500. So tough to guess at the proper jetting and not in here. I mean, you want to have the best performance you can, but you don't put fuel and lubrication in the engine, that you can squeak a motor pretty quick.
And you talk about jetting. I know just from the notes that my husband takes, he might have jet set from last year, but also the temperatures play a factor. So they might have notes from last year of, we're going to run this, and then get up here and it's 10, 15 below.
Careful now. Don't be giving out any of the secrets.
I didn't say what jets.
All righty.
I just said they might have notes from last year and then have to make changes and they get up here. And here's the thing is, they get out to qualifying at 3 o'clock. They only have half hour, 45 minutes
Yeah.
to make some adjustments for
Yeah.
the heat races. And
Yeah, so the notes, very important that you have a booklet with your notes, the temperature and the jetting that you ran and clutching, and it all comes into factor here.
So Jeremy Van Hoek, your winner, the K&S and Company Exteriors 1978 Yamaha Exciter for Schwartz Racing Team, the 43-year-old from the thriving metropolis of Richards Landing, Ontario, Canada.
He's moved down in my area, originally from Sault Ste. Marie, and down in the Richards Landing, St. Joe Island area.
You know, there's a sign in Deborah, Ontario, Canada, for that says "Home of Spanky Robinson."
I didn't know I was
I got him.
next to someone so famous.
Right?
I had a speech class. I got him saying Deborah now. He's flawless at it.
Yes, indeed.
He had a hard time with that one, but he's flawless saying Deborah, Ontario now.
I'm so honored to be next to you, Spanky. Woo.
He said I was from Gooley for a while.
Oh yeah, I would
You
do
know.
that. I would do that just to see the look on his face. I would tell him he's from Gooey River, Ontario.
We
I
all,
did hear him earlier today introduce you, so that was kind
that
of
was
fun to
almost
chuckle.
fighting words. I mean, Deborah and Gooley, that's fighting words.
So heat race number 2 for the 340 fan super stock. So it's like only a couple competitors are going to go at it. So guaranteed a top 2 finish. Chaz Major, the Wilco's Farms 1979 Yamaha and Teicher, the 23-year-old of Scottville, Michigan, will go one-on-one with the Brandt Sports Center 1978 Yamaha Exciter, 61 years old from Sheboygan, Michigan, Bruce Brandt. So those two will go at it here in heat race number 2.
Boy, that Major machine got a real quick start. He's already got almost a quarter straightaway lead on that second place Yamaha there.
Scheduled to go unable to answer the call, the 57 of Waylon Littleton and the 15 of Fred Devano. We're scheduled to go in this one, unable to answer the call.
Yeah, there's a lot of names I see on these lists that are running multiple classes. So there's back-to-back. Their sled, I'm sure their crew has in line, and then they just jump to the next sled, next class. So a lot of laps. I know Chaz Major is one of them that's leading the charge here.
And he's got one heck of a lead, looking for his second heat race win in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, Chaz looking real smooth there as he went down through turn 1 and out of turn 2 down the back straightaway.
Bruce Brandt in second spot, the 61-year-old from Sheboygan, Michigan, the Brandt Sports Center machine. Marcy, you ever thought about jumping on a sled and taking a couple laps?
Well,
Everyone else in the family does.
I used to race, but I have 3 kids, and it's always in the back of my mind if something happens to me, who's going to take care of the kids? I love my
Dustin.
husband. No. I love my husband, but
I'm just going to say
But-
one thing. You qualify age-wise to race here.
I'm very young. But yes, I do.
Just
That's what I
barely-
meant. You're over 16. That's what I meant.
Just barely past the age limit for the Wall Service Losers Mini 5 Kids races.
Yeah, I know somebody kept announcing that Marcy
That would be me.
Furak,
That was
8-year-old out of
me.
Hessel, Michigan,
That was
was
me.
just killing it on the.
It was
on the
Marcy
set.
Furak Jr.
Yeah, well, that's spot on, 100%.
Chaz Major way out in front in the number 3 machine. Bruce Brandt in second as Major makes his way through turns 3 and 4. I'm surprised, Spanky, that Chaz Major is not a rider on one of the I-500 teams yet. As successful as he's been in the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout. And he's, as I say that, I think I just jinxed him as he has stopped over in turn number 4. And Bruce Brandt may come out of this a winner, but Major has stopped over in turn number 4. He is off the sled.
Yeah.
Tough break for Major.
Again,
And Brandt has slowed down. Perhaps he believes, there was a caution. But Major is off the sled. And Brandt is just out of camera view in the O2. Now he's going to come across. And that's basically right there was the official pass for the lead.
well, you want to. I think Brad's just making sure that she makes it to the line. There's no need to heat it up coming down that straightaway. So he's going to grab the victory here.
How about that? The 61-year-old from Sheboygan, Michigan. Bruce Brandt is going to pick up the checkered flag here in heat race number 2 for the 340 fan super stocks, and he'll take that checkered flag now. How about it, Spankies? 61-year-old Bruce Brand goes to victory lane.
Wow, it's going to be a celebration time pit side of that. That's awesome to see. Boy, tough luck. That machine of Majors are breaking down on that back straightaway. But there's your winner in the 0-2 as he'll pull it down the return road to pit lane, and he's got the win here in that heat race.
You know, Matt, you talked about racing, Spanky, me racing. This past winter, the Raber Bay race that we host up here, it had been 4 years since I had raced, and I got back on the sled in the women's class.
Did you win?
I got a second.
Second. Who beat you?
Chad Seiler's daughter, Chloe Seiler.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And 16, 17-year-old. She's a little more muscular, a little more fit than me, athlete, so she deserved that win.
So let me ask you, this year's Raber race, are you behind the controls?
Several people have asked me. It all depends on how I'm feeling the week of. Because I do help with that race a lot. So I put on all the registration, and I'm very busy, and I'm also busy during race day. So depends on the mood I'm in.
And we're used to Chad Seiler being here for the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout. He was not able to make it today. He's scheduled for surgery tomorrow. So Seiler not with us today. A normal competitor here at the Sioux Vintage Shootout.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bummer that he's not up here. Always a tough competitor, but well, we wish you luck at your surgery. Hope everything goes well.
And we'll send Spanky up to monitor the surgery, make sure everything goes well. He's looking at me like, what?
Sorry, I got distracted.
Dave Johnson
I was
brought up
looking
food.
at a turkey pot pie here.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
I
my.
get distracted by food very easily
Yes.
myself.
That's like putting a carrot in front of a donkey, man.
Right? Donkey. That's the one thing I love about coming up to the Sioux I-500, all the Spanky-isms. I take several back with me to the hockey games, towards the regular season's coming up, and then the following the fast approaching racing season too.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt. If you had to babysit Dave Johnson for a week,
I couldn't do it.
you'd know.
You're a better
you
man
would
than
know.
I.
And John Wick, I'll tell you, it's. I just can't get that Dave Johnson up on the change table. He's too big now.
Yeah.
I don't know, Spanky. I think you have to be babysat maybe once or twice also.
Quiet, Marcy. Shelley may be listening.
All right.
Right?
They muted me for that portion.
Right. Yeah, we'll edit that out. No problem. 440 Fan Superstocks coming up next. Looks to be the first of two heat races. Heat races originally scheduled for 4. They've been dropped to 3 laps. It's like the first of 2 heat races on the docket for the 440 Fan Superstocks. Ryan Wolf breaking the track record in qualifying earlier today for the 440 Fans of 46.378. His previous record in the 440 Fans was a 46.525. And here we go. This may be just the only heat race, but here's your lineup. The High Street Insurance Partners, 1980 Yamaha. Got to make sure my math's right. 32 years old from Fife Lake, Michigan, 00, Jordan Erickson. Then you've got the Castle X, 1982 Polaris, 45 years old from Saginaw, Michigan, to 65 of Guy Geimer. Alongside the Fringe Outfitters, 1981 Polaris TXC, 55 years old from Deborah, Ontario, Canada, the 62 of Keith Mackey. Then you've got the Mullen Excavating, 1980 John Deere Sportfire, 47 years old from Interlochen, Michigan, the 80 of Corey Zerniak. Alongside the Fit Money Coach, 1979 Yamaha, 47 years old from right here in Sault Ste. Marie, to 6 of Pete York. And then you got the Mullen Excavating, 1980 John Deere Sportfire, 53 years old from Suttons Bay, Michigan, to 70 of Paul Corson. That is your field. And Guy Geimer out in front.
Boy, that was a 3-way battle. Keith McKay in second on that on his Yamaha, but as they went down that back straightaway, it was a 3 side-by-side battle into turn 3 there for the lead.
Guy Geimer, your leader. Keith Mackey in second spot. Then you got Jordan Erickson in third. In the 00, you'll see Erickson in just the 0 later on this week in Parker Ace Hardware I-500 pole qualifying.
One machine coming slowly to a stop there.
And that is Erickson.
You could see the rider look down on that back straightaway. That motor may be starting to go a little bit lean as he headed down that back straightaway. Looks like he's rolling pretty slow in turn 3.
Guy Geimer out in front. In that number 65. Came and visited us for the first time last season here at the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout. Always wanted to come, decided to make it a part last year. Liked it so much, came back this year.
I was just going to say, he had so much fun, he decided to return.
And it's such a good racing name, Guy Geimer.
Yeah, he also comes up to Raber, so I recognize that name as well. So he's not shy to the UP anyways.
Geimer out in front. Keith Mackey riding second, the former winner of the Quebec Bay 250.
We got that Team Barncat liquid fire out there, the number 80, Cordy Cerniak out there looking good.
It's a 1980 John Deere Sport Fire with a Kawasaki 440 engine.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a combination you don't see a whole heck of a lot. As Guy Geimer picks up the win in heat race number 1. Just 3 laps, not a whole lot of time to get things done.
Yeah, and Keith McKay, he did a great job finishing second there.
McKay in second, Zerniak in third. Pete York comes home in fourth. And Paul Corson rounding out the top 5.
Boy, that was tough for Mr. Wolf as that machine going down, so I don't know.
Yeah, Jordan Erickson, the 00. Yeah, the 32-year-old from Fife Lake, Michigan. As we mentioned, he'll be in the 0 Erickson racing machine for Park Race Hardware I-500 pole qualifying, which starts tomorrow. Busy, busy day tomorrow here, Wednesday, February 4th. We've got 2 rounds of qualifying for the I-500, Meyer Pro Shootout Round 1 qualifying. And we also have the Kokosing Alberici Trailer Old 600 Modifieds Shootout. In theory, the fastest sleds on the property, but that was not the case 1 year ago.
Also, later on this evening, I believe maybe not going to be on the live full broadcast, but it'll be a practice session for
Indeed, the I-500
the
teams
I-500
will
sleds here. So I would expect that to be a busy little section of time here. The sleds get their first opportunity to get out on the track here. And
it is an optional practice, but pretty much every team takes part. And that's going to be from 8 to 9 p.m. That is not going to be on the FloRacing broadcast, as we'll sign off on the Flo broadcast at the end of the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout. But from 8 to 9 p.m. live on the International 500 Snowmobile Race Facebook page, yours truly will head down to pit road. Live. We don't know what's going to happen. Someone could swear. I may get hit again by a sled, which happened last year. It could happen.
Did you get injured?
I had an abrasion on my left leg.
Okay.
It cut right through my pants
Marcy,
and my sock.
we're trying to toughen him up a little bit. He's
Right.
from the south, you know. Us northerners, that wouldn't even affect us.
No, not at all. Heat race number 2. Here's your lineup on the pole. The Nicolay Bank 1978 Yamaha, 30 years old from Brimley, Michigan at 15. Orion Dulski alongside him, your new track record holder, defending race winner. The Wallace Lawn Care 1981 Polaris TXC, 44 years old from Grand Blanc, Michigan. The 66 of Ryan Wolf. Then you got the Nichols All Service and Hauling 1978 Yamaha Exciter, 49 years old from right here in Sault Ste. Marie. The 429 of Jay Nichols. And alongside him, the HD Machine and Fab 1978 Yamaha, 30 years old from Freeland, Michigan. The 20 of Travis Hahn. That is your field. Heat race number 2 for the 440 Fan Superstocks.
And look at that, Ryan Wolf coming down the front stretch.
Yeah, that TXC is really running real strong here at this point.
Ryan Wolf, the 2-time defending race winner in the 440 Fan Superstocks, picking up the checkered flag last year as well as 2 seasons ago. Ryan Dulski, who's running in just about everything this week. You're going to see him in the old 600 mods. You're going to see him in the Meyer Pro Shootout. You're going to see him in the I-500. You're seeing him right now in the 440 Fan Superstocks. And you're going to see him in the Sportsman 600s.
I was going to say, I think there's one more. That local driver out of Brimley, Michigan, definitely has a lot of laps on this track here.
He's going to get a lot of laps. He may get 500 laps before Saturday.
Yeah, maybe between practice and racing.
White flag out, 1 to go.
Wolf looking real smooth as he's got a pretty decent lead here as he's already out of turn 2 down the back straightaway.
Dalsky just crossing the line now. Almost an 11-second lead Wolf has over Ryan Dalsky, as Ryan Wolf will be a part of things with the I-500 later on this week. He is on the Zero Ericsson Racing team along with Jordan Erickson. Checkered flag in the air. And Ryan Wolf picks up the checkered flag. Here in heat race number 2 for the 440 Fan Super Stocks. It's his second heat race win in 2 years in this division. Dalsky comes home in second. Say, where are the rest of the guys? Oh, they're way over there. I'm like, where are the rest of the guys at? And there's one stopped over in turn 3. That could be, it's either Travis Hahn or Jay Nichols. It's just the way the sun is setting here at the racetrack. The sun is directly shining smack in the middle of the Joe Munez Memorial broadcast booth.
Yeah, I feel like we're dancing up here.
Right? I know. I'm trying to see,
just shifting around because I'm not complaining that the sun is out.
Right.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
We've had years, we were talking about that. We've had years where it's snowing so hard you can't see. I guess I would take the sun over the snow any day. So.
And that was Jay Nichols who comes home in third spot. So that leaves 4th to Travis Hahn. So Ryan Wolf, the Wallace Lawn Care 1981 Polaris TXC. You'll see him later this week with the Zero Ericsson Racing Team in Parker Hayes Hardware I-500 pole qualifying. The 44-year-old from Grand Blanc, Michigan. Just turned 44. Back on January 11th. And that is Travis Hahn, the 30-year-old from Freeland, Michigan.
Yeah, actually Ryan had a birthday when we were out in Eagle River.
Yes.
And his team owner, Jim Wallace, he begged me to go live for his races out there. So I went live for Ryan's races, and I made sure to wish him a happy birthday. So he was kind of on cloud 9 out there, picking up a bunch of wins and then having a birthday. So good job to Ryan here in this heat race.
Yep. Wolf turning 44 years old. Remember when you were 44, Spanky?
I'm a little older. My memory's going. It's fading a bit. No, actually, no.
I haven't got there yet. I'll let you know in 10 years.
I remember 44. That was 7 years ago, so it's not too far ago. No.
Some good years? They
Yeah.
say your 40s are like your best years, right?
Yeah, it was all right. From what I remember, that would have put it 2019. So
Before COVID.
yeah, right before COVID. So yeah, well, it had to have been a good year.
19 is a great number, too, by the way.
It sure is. It sure is. I knew you were going there too. 340 free air Superstars getting ready to roll out next. And our lone young lady in the field.
Yeah, 1 week ago without a Kinross, Audrey lost a ski. The ski come right off the sled, and she got it to a stop safely, but
Okay, Spanky, she was running so well
Yes.
in Kinross.
Yes,
she
she was.
doing phenomenal. She was in second,
Yes.
and she came off the sled. She was bummed that she broke, but she was like, that's the best I've ever ran. So I think she's going to do great here today.
So ladies first, Audrey Martin, the number 17, the Fringe Outfitters 1979 Polaris TX, the 40-year-old young lady from Thessalon, Ontario. Also on the track, the Fast Track Racing 1977 Ski-Doo RV, 56 years old, from Saugatuck, Michigan, the number 1 of Mike Miles. Guy Geimer in the 64, your fast qualifier. The Castle X 1979 Polaris, 45 years old from Saginaw, Michigan is next as the green flag comes out. As for the rest of the field, the Performance Racing 1975 Yamaha GPX, 65 years old from Cedarville, Michigan, the 94 of Jeff Malaska. Then you got the Wilco's Farms 1979 Polaris, 19 years old from St. Charles, Michigan, the 128 of Tucker Haven. And last but certainly not least, he's got to duplicate what his son did at the Walsh Service Solutions Mini 5 Kids Snowmobile Races. The JV Electric 1979 Polaris, 44 years old from Saginaw, Michigan, the 611 James Von Borg is up next.
Boy, I'll tell you, you got a good battle coming down the straightaway off 4. There's 4 machines kind of battling for that lead here as they make it down the long straightaway here.
This is a single heat race for the 340 Free Air Superstocks. The finishing order determines the starting lineup as one sled off the pace. Now he gets it back going.
Yeah, and I believe that was your leader.
It was. That was James Von Borg. In the 611, his son, Jax Von Borg, picking up 2 feature wins on Sunday afternoon. The Wall Sliver Solutions, Mini 5 kids snowmobile races. Ran into Mom yesterday at Kuwait Casinos in the elevator. She's like, yeah, I know who you are. And I'm like, I don't know who you are.
Look at
Hopefully we recognize the voice, right? So those that haven't met you in person, they're
right.
like, how
Look
do
at
I know him?
Van Borg, I think he's thread of the needle. He's got back out in front. We'll wait and see. But
this is a good battle.
He got it back going out of turn 4. I think you're going to see him come down as a leader.
And you had mentioned the side-by-side racing. They're truly almost side-by-side as they come down this front stretch.
Good battle for that race lead. Real close to the line. Von Borg now.
And sometimes it's the matter of who can just hold it longer into the corners, too, of who's going to come out in the lead out of these corners.
Tucker Haven, the youngest driver in this field, 19 years old, was running into second spot. Jeff Malaska, the 2018 winner in this division in the Sioux Vintage Shootout. Back when it was sanctioned by the Glass Series, the Great Lakes Antique Snowmobile Series. He's running in the third spot with Guy Geimer in fourth.
Now a challenge on the bottom. Look at that machine's going to pull up alongside of Van Borg there as they come down the front straightaway. Boy, the race is still on for the lead here.
Coming down the front stretch, checkered flag in the air for the one and only heat race for the 340 Free Air Super Stocks. And it's going to be James Von Borg taking the checkered flag. Tucker Haven in second. Guy Geimer comes home in third. Jeff Malaska fourth. And Audrey Martin rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, it was a race there for that 5th place there. Audrey just squeaked it by as they came across the line.
Boy, that was like an exciting race out there. Very good.
Probably our closest race so far.
Oh, absolutely. For sure. We'll make that feature awfully exciting at 340 Free Air Super Stocks. We get a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker. Upcoming next, though, single heat race for the 440 Free Air Super Stocks. And we'll set the lineup for you, starting on the pole. Your fast qualifier today. Already got a heat race win, a single Super Stocks. The Wilco's Farms, 1975 Yamaha Enticer, 23 years old from Scottville, Michigan, the number 3 at Chaz Major. Alongside him, the Nautical City Quick Lube, 1980 Polaris TX, 47 years old from Rogers City, Michigan, the 7 of Eric Smolenski. Then you got your defending race winner, the Wallace Lawn Care, 1981 Polaris TXC, 44 years old from Grand Blanc, Michigan, the 66 of Ryan Wolf. Then you got the Mickey Sleds and More, 1978 Polaris TX, 33 years old from Oscoda, Michigan, the 72, Jake Jarrow. And then you got the Mullen Excavating, 1975 Suzuki Fury, 47 years old from Interlochen, Michigan, the 80, Corey Zerniak. That is your scheduled starting lineup for the heat race for the 440 Free Air Super Stocks.
A Suzuki Fury. You don't see a lot of those around, but interesting.
And again, a lot of these names,
We've seen.
they've already had time on the track.
Yes, they have.
So they have some advantage against those that maybe don't have any or limited time on the track, just that qualifying session.
Both Chaz Major and Ryan Wolf already heat race winners earlier today. But don't count out Jake Jarrow. He's a veteran here at the I-500. He's in the lineup this weekend, looking to attempt to qualify for the I-500 as well, as he is with Todd Hoffmeyer's number 10 Let's Go Racing Machine. That's a potent team. Jake Jarrow, Andy Shoemaker, and John Chooch Booth. That number 10.
A little shout out to the Hoffmeyer team. We got to see them at breakfast this morning, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure down in the trailer working away, getting ready for later on's practice session.
Here we go, 440 Free Air. And this should be another good one as they get a little quicker and a little quicker with each heat race.
Boy, what a battle on the inside. That sled able to grab that second spot. Now one machine slows down the back straightaway. I think we're going to see the caution come out. One machine has died just out of turn 2.
Yeah, right in the center, just about the center of the backstretch is one sled off the pace. Matter of fact, he's come to a complete stop.
Yeah, so you're going to see that red flag come out, but that driver was in second, came off the line really good, and just unfortunately coming out of turn 2, slowed up. And again, vintage sleds, jetting, clutching, you just never know.
I would think we're starting to see the same old story, maybe a possible.
And the rider
engine.
is off the sled. We're trying to get the ID on him. It's a little bit far away. But one sled is off the pace there, right in the center of the backstretch.
The sun now is starting to make its way towards the sunset here to the west here, the I-500.
And
but
it's Chaz Major.
Chaz Major's machine, wow.
That's twice now.
Yeah.
Today. That's not tough break for that team here.
Yeah, I can see that same thing happened. He went off the pace there in the 340 Fan Super Stocks. Was in cruise control before losing power, and Bruce Brandt won that heat race in the 340 Fans. Now, second time today, Chaz Major has come to a stop. It's
nice
feast or
crowd.
famine for Major.
Real nice crowd here around the banks here.
Yeah, not too bad.
Observing the vintage racing over here.
Snow angels being made right in front of us.
Yeah, that's yeah, we got one young fella there having a good old time out there. Hello, bud. Give us a wave. You can hear us.
He's like, they're talking about me. Stop.
Yeah, we have a cute little girl down here in the pink hat. She's
Oh,
giving us a wave.
there
She
she
can
is.
hear us.
Oh, there's-
Yeah.
A young lady down there having fun.
A lot of fresh powder here, so it's great snow to be playing in. And
Give us a snow angel there, young lady.
There we
Yeah.
go. We got a
Thank
snow
you,
angel.
honey.
There we go.
That is awesome.
It is a balmy 15 degrees here today in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
you know, when I was walking in with the sun, it really didn't feel that cold.
No, I don't feel too bad.
There is a little bit wind, but with that sun, it just offsets it enough that it's comfortable out there.
I would think the temperature maybe has dropped a few degrees here. I don't know exactly what it is out there right now, but there's a breeze coming kind of out of the west, and I think the temperature's starting to go down here at the I-500.
I live just north of Detroit in New Haven, Michigan now, and the weather been down there has been in the single digits probably the last 3 weeks. So I thought I was getting prepared for Sioux weather, but it's just a different kind of cold up here. It really is.
Yeah, and it's just going to get colder, I think, as we
Yeah.
go further in the week. So you better build that skin up and,
Yeah.
and get tough.
Oh, it's a heat wave at home. High day of 32. Nice.
And if
Nice.
the sun's out, that's beautiful.
Oh yeah, so some snow. We've had there was probably a foot of snow on the ground when I left on this past Friday to come up. There's at least a foot of snow on the ground.
Just made contact with Dwayne Bauer. He's involved on the AM broadcast and here with Radio Sioux, former racer, youngest man to ever win the I-500. He's in Florida. He's coming north to get warm. Like that Florida,
Yeah.
they've had snow and cool temperatures. He'll be flying out and getting up here tomorrow.
Good battle for the race lead. Jake Jarrell, Ryan Wolf. As the green flag came back out. Again, tough break for Chaz Major. As this is gonna be a battle. Here as they make their way out turns 3 and 4. Come down that long 2,000-foot front stretch.
Yeah, they're starting to heat it up on the inside. It's going to be side by side as they cross over here.
Yeah, and it's just going to be interesting of who holds it in longer under the bridge. That really can make or break this here. And you see Wolf holding it in on the outside.
Wow, Major stuffs it sideways. Wolf on the outside, and Wolf's going to go to the lead around that high groove.
Two very, very good competitors duking it out for this 440 free air super stock heat race. As Eric Smolinski off the pace.
Yeah, definitely don't count Jake Giroux out. He's right on the tail of Wolf's sled there as they go down into 3. There might be a little gap, but definitely don't count him out.
Here they come now, off 4 as they head down again the front straightaway. Boy, that is a heck of a race here for that first place spot. White flag out now, 1 to go.
1 lap to go here in the 440 free air super stocks. Ryan Wolf looking for his second heat race win of the afternoon. Jake Giroux's second spot with Corey Zerniak rounding out the top 3, the Team Barncats entry. And it looks like Wolf starting to pull away just a bit.
We've seen it a couple times today. Don't count them out until the race is over, because we saw these vintage sleds slow up.
Yeah, you can.
Down there.
You cannot, until the checkered flies and they're actually crossing the start finish line. You cannot just hand it to them. That's for sure. But in this case, Ryan Wolf says, "Give me that checkered flag" for the second time today. As Wolf, a 44-year-old from Grand Blanc, Michigan, picks up the win. Jake Giroux riding second, finishing second. The 33-year-old from Muskota, Michigan, and Corey Zerniak will round out the podium finishers.
You know, I have a feeling that Jake Giroux is going to go back to the trailer and maybe do some adjustments. He knows he's that close to Ryan Wolf.
Put the 600 motor in there.
Well, I think he might not pass.
I didn't say that, Mr.
Well,
Giroux.
if Giroux pulls into the number 10 Let's Go Racing pit stall, we know something's up. Hey, Todd, help me out here.
Yeah, put a different motor in this one.
F500's coming out next. No significant entries in this division, I don't believe.
No, not at all. None whatsoever.
Except for two-time defending race winner Dustin Furak, the 40-year-old from Hessel, Michigan. Is there a sign in Hessel, Michigan that says home of Dustin Furak?
No, I would expect there be a sign that says home of Marcy Furak.
Home of Carson Furak,
Yeah.
the 9-time Mini 5
He's
Kids Snowmobile race winner.
pretty impressive there.
He should have been out
pass
there.
up Dad.
Oh, he might.
I got a new nickname for Marcy.
Yeah.
We have
Queen?
we have with the Harris with the Harris race team, we have Bad Grandma.
Yeah.
Marcy
Queen
is
Marcy?
now Bad Mama.
Bad Mama.
Bad Mama. Yeah. Carson and I were. No, I'm just
I'll
kidding.
take it. Hey, I'm pretty easygoing.
Heat race number
big
1
numbers.
for the F500s. And here we go. Here's your lineup. Up first, the Darrell Proctor Memorial Foundation, 1991 Polaris Indy, 39 years old from Trufant, Michigan, the 686 John Proctor. And battle for the lead right away, including out there the youngest rider on the property, the Woodhaven Log and Lumber, 1989 Polaris Fuji, 16 years old from Gatesville, Michigan, the 26 at Evan Maciag. And then you've got the Veenstra Farms, 1992 Polaris, 34 years old from Hopkins, Michigan, the 58 of Andrew Veenstra. That is your field.
You know, you heard us go, ooh.
Yes.
What we saw was John Proctor
Wow.
high-siding coming out of turn 2, and I don't know how he saved it.
He had that baby
was-
right up on one ski heading towards Maciak there, but he settled it down.
And we got a battle for the race lead.
Absolutely.
Side
Come
by
down.
side, Maciag and Proctor. Maciag already making a little history here today. Youngest rider ever here at the International 500 Snowmobile Racetrack. 16 years, 7 months, 1 week, 4 days.
Yeah, that's funny that you bring up his age, because Carson had asked me, Mom, when can I run on the big track? How old can I be? And I feel like every year we're getting a little younger.
Well, he's gonna hear
It was
that.
17, now it's 16.
He's gonna hear that what I just said. And Mom, come on.
We're gonna have to sweet talk Billy Kreider.
I know.
Tell Carson I'll lend him my ID.
Right?
Yeah, right. I think he could use his dad's ID.
Probably could. White flag's out, 1 lap to go. As your race leader is John Proctor. Maciag keeping pace in second spot. First ever appearance here in the legendary 1 mile for young 16-year-old Evan Maciag.
And it's really good to see, you know, Scott Maciak, Cale, Scott is dad, Cale his brother. They have run many laps on this track here. It's really good to see Evan out here. I know he had some issues out in Eagle River, and Kinross with that sled seems to be running great right now. So let's hope he can keep that machine running here solid, so he can advance to the final.
One
Yeah.
machine just pulled off in the
It
mid
was
straightaway, got it
Andrew
off
Veen-
track.
yep.
So
Andrew Veenstra, the former ATV motocross competitor, pulls off. He'll finish third in this heat race. But out of turn 4, down the long front stretch they come. And it is John Proctor picking up the win. Evan Maciag, his first ever race here on the legendary 1 mile, comes home in second in his heat race. And Veenstra will finish in third. But John Proctor, the Darrell Proctor Memorial Foundation, 1991 Polaris Indy, picks up the win. The 39-year-old from Trufant, Michigan.
well, real nice race there as Proctor looked back and a little congratulatory wave there from Mr. Maciak. A good run for the young man.
And Proctor will be part of the Brownlee Boys Racing number 77 team for Parker Ace Hardware I-500 pole qualifying, along with Josh Mapes, with the rest of the lineup to be announced. Heat race number 2 for the F500s. Got 4 competitors in this one. And then we just got word on the radio that the 19 will start 2 laps down in this race.
Right. Okay. Sure. I don't know how to answer. I don't even know how to respond to that one. I believe that's him on the outside.
I said that with a
Gets
straight
good jump.
I said that with a straight face.
Yeah, you did. But he's coming down first into the corner.
Your fast qualifier. The Taser Boatworks, 1990 Polaris Indy, 40 years old from Hessel, Michigan, the 19. Dustin Furak on the track alongside the Wilder Builders, 1992 Polaris, 19 years old from Rudyard, Michigan, the 9. Landon Mayer. Then you got the Lakeside Electric, 1990 Polaris Indy, 53 years old from Fenville, Michigan, the 16 of Aaron Giles. And last but certainly not least, the Triple S Service, 1989 Polaris, 42 years old from Wayland, Michigan, the number 10 of Mark Sook. That is your field.
Well, Furyk, he'll bring him down the front straightaway, but young Mr. Mayer right there trying to, now he's going to try the outside of the track here as they cross over to complete that first lap. Dustin Furyk, your leader.
Yeah, and remember Spanky back in last weekend in Kinross, it was these 2 sleds that kept battling in the sprint and the enduro. Mayer had some tough, he blew a belt in that enduro class, but he was leading the charge and was doing a fantastic job for that, just that 19-year-old Rudyard, Michigan.
Just listen to the radio of Landon Mayer. He says, man, there's a really old dude in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big age gap. Did he say, get that old man off the track
right,
so I can get around him?
Am I running the senior division? That's what you just asked.
Well, if you do look at Dustin without his helmet off, he looks like he's about 21 years old.
Yeah,
so.
it looks like he could be carded.
Yeah, he does,
I think
for sure.
so.
He continues to hold on here, but Mayer has not given up yet. He's going to mount another charge here. 1 lap to go, the signal. Dustin Furyk now. Mayer held it way into the corner now.
You know, we did have some, and he has company on the inside as Mayer came out of turn 2 side by side as they go down the back stretch.
Mayer on the inside, Furyk on the high side. Furyk looking for his 3rd consecutive heat race win in the F500s.
And he has company.
He does. Landon Mayer, first ever appearance here on the legendary 1 mile. They'll come down on a turn number 4. Marcy, bring us home.
You have Mayer in the lead, I believe, as they came out of turn 4. Furyk tries to jump to the inside to get a little bit more speed as they crisscross, and it's going to be a close one, but it's Mayer who picks up the heat race here, followed by Furyk.
Wow, what an
How about
incredible
that?
race that was, I'll tell you. Look at that, those 2 guys, that was outstanding. Dustin Furyk, Landon Mayer on that number 9.
And in that 3rd spot is the 16 of Aaron Giles. And rounding out the field here is the number 10,
Yep.
Mark Suck.
And how about the 19-year-old from Rudyard, Michigan? First ever appearance on the 1 mile, beat one of the very best in the business to take the checkered flag. The Wilder Builders 1992 Polaris from Mayer Racing. The number 9, Landon Mayer, picks up heat race number 2.
My lawyer will be getting in touch with you, Marcy, for hitting me at the end, at the finish line there. Boy, that was exciting.
It's always exciting up here. You never know what's going to happen, so you need to start watching your back here, Spanky.
Yeah.
The big dogs of the day on the racetrack now.
I
it
think,
is the Sportsman
Landon Mayer,
600s.
the
FloRacing Studios live.
Tune in to Flo and watch pretty much any race we want. This is our Daytona 500, so I wanted to be a race car driver.
The largest crowd in the history of Eldora Speedway. Are we going to have a last lap slider in Gateway?
It's also shootout. I mean, everybody wants to go out there and win a golden driller.
The significance that this thing has.
Kyle Larson does it again at the Chili Bowl. Destiny fulfilled.
This is the biggest race I've ever won.
The best dirt late moto series in America. Down the back straightaway, and O'Neill takes the lead and bounds down.
This is exactly the group you need to put on a big event like this.
The biggest night in pavement late model racing history.
Kubota High Limit Racing!
You're watching the greatest sprint car drivers in the world right here on FloRacing.
FloRacing Studios
We'll
live.
tune into Flow and watch pretty much any race we want. This is our Daytona 500, so I wanted to be a race car driver.
The largest crowd in the history of Eldora Speedway. Are we going to have a last lap slider in Gateway?
The Tulsa Shootout. I mean, everybody wants to go out there and win a Golden Driller.
The significance that this thing has.
Kyle Larson does it again at the Chili Bowl. Destiny fulfilled.
This is the biggest race I've ever won.
The best dirt late model series in America. Down the back straightaway, and O'Neill takes the lead and bounds down.
This is exactly the group you need to put on a big event like this.
The biggest night in pavement late model racing history.
Kubota High Limit Racing!
You're watching the greatest sprint car drivers in the world right here on FloRacing.
False start.
One sled jumped a little bit here, so
Yeah, Tyler Fullerton excited to get going in the 71. Tyler Fullerton, the Fringe Outfitters 2000 Polaris XCSP, the 40-year-old from Thessalon, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, so you see he is starting a little bit back further. When you jump the start, you have to start in the second row. So that flag guy.
That's his hand slap, pretty much.
Exactly.
Green flag, here we go, and he makes up the distance for sure.
yeah, he got good bite there. That was out into the lead into turn one.
Also in the field, it is the Hickory Dickory Docks 2000 Polaris, 30 years old, from Brimley, Michigan. The 15 of Ryan Dalsky. And last but not least, the Anytime Towing 1999 Yamaha SRX, 18 years old, right here in Sault Ste. Marie, the 98 of Jarrett Crimmin.
And this is the third race just this year that I've watched these two drivers battle. I watched Mount Eagle River, I watched Kinross, and they have been battling all year. Their driving styles and their sled speed are very similar, so this is going to be an interesting heat race here.
They're side by side. Fullerton, he'll drive around Dalsky as they cross over the line and head towards turn one under the bridge. But you called it, Marcy. Boy, these two are pretty darn equal, pretty well side by side. Dalsky now up on the high side.
Yeah, so just a little bit different style driving here. So you have Fullerton, who has the straightaway speed, but you have Dulski, who has the more experience into the corners. He's an enduro driver. He has just a little bit different style than Fullerton, but Fullerton has that speed as he excels out of the corners.
Dulski again on the outside, looking to try to find a way around Tyler Fullerton, and they're pretty much side by side now as they come off 4, heading towards 1 to go, going to be the signal, and they come down the front straightaway. Fullerton with just a slight advantage as they cross over.
Fullerton, your race leader. Ryan Dulski in second. Dulski will be racing for the number 24 Novak Motorsports team entry in the I-500.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw when they were coming in here under the bridges, Dulski just held that in just a little bit more than Fullerton, but having that punch out of the corner, that traction, is where Fullerton gets Dulski speed-wise. So one turn to go. Let's see if Dulski can get around Fullerton as they come out of 4 down the front stretch.
One last run to try to find a way around Tyler Fullerton as they come to the line. Fullerton's looking at a checkered flag.
Indeed he is. It is Tyler Fullerton picking up heat race number 2 win. Ryan Dulski comes home in second, and Jarrett Crimmen will finish in third. Fullerton, the Fringe Outfitters, 2000 Polaris XCSP for North Channel Racing, the 40-year-old from Thessalon, Ontario, Canada. You were telling me a story, Spanky, about Thessalon, Ontario. You played junior hockey there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, a few years ago. It wasn't an outdoor rink. We had an indoor rink.
Was there still cage on instead of plexiglass for the boards?
Actually, I got to say, yes, there was. I have to honestly say there was. My first year there was cage on there. So,
was it cow pies instead of pucks?
So you got a problem with that?
Not at all. Not at all.
It was just a couple of years ago, so they really upgraded things here.
The goal judge didn't stand on the back of the net, though. It wasn't that long ago.
So heat races are complete. So we have gotten through. Let's see, getting an official count here. 6.
Boy, that was a good race. Unbelievable. Those between Fullerton and Dulski. Very entertaining here.
11 heat races in the books. We have 7 more races yet to go. 7 big features in the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout. Live here on FloRacing. Appreciate everybody tuning in on FloRacing's live broadcast coverage. It is opening day, Bud Clark Day. Officially, it's day 3 of the 57th running of the GFL Environmental International 500 Snowmobile Race Week. Matt Preer alongside Spanky Robinson and very special guest Marcy Furek. We always enjoy having you come up, and we're gonna do something that we normally don't do, Marcy. We're gonna have you, because you're coming up on Saturday. That's number 1.
Okay, absolutely.
You pick which 50-lap segment you want.
Okay.
You let us know, and you'll come out, because we are mandated to take breaks by the Board of Governors, whatever.
I recommend maybe earlier the better.
Okay.
So I might dabble in some activities later on.
Right, okay, that makes sense. So you pick.
Unless you want me to dabble into activities and then
come up. Look at that son of a...
Right. No, I would not do that. But I might, it might be a little more fun.
Well, think about it. Shoot me a text. Let me know what 50-lap segment you want.
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to take a short little break, get the feature lineups all set up. A reminder, at the conclusion of the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout, there is an optional I-500 practice tonight from 8 to 9 p.m. FloRacing will not be broadcasting that, but we are going to have it live on the International 500 Snowmobile Race Facebook page. So be sure to go there. If you already haven't clicked like, it's facebook.com/SiouI500 Race. If you're not already a fan, from 8 to 9 p.m., yours truly will go live down on pit road. We don't know what's going to happen. There is no set script. It's just going to walk up and down pit road, talk to random people, hopefully not get hit by a sled again, hopefully not fall down.
Sleds.
Right? If somebody swears, we apologize in advance. But that's going to come up tonight from 8 to 9 p.m. on the International 500 Snowmobile Race Facebook page.
Matt, I really think that is a valuable thing that you do that, because a lot of people that are not here or have not been to the race, they really don't see what goes on down there in the pits. So giving them that live feedback and just raw footage, I think it's very special to those that have never been here or have never been in the pits before.
And it was kind of we did it for the first time last year. It was kind of a spontaneous thing. I just decided, we're not going to do it. It's not going to be on Flow. Well, like, let's go do that. So that's what we ended up doing. It's become very popular. I mean, I had 100 people asking me about it. But we are going to take a break. You're watching Opening Day, Bud Clark Day, from the International 500 Snowmobile Racetrack here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. We'll be back with Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout features. Arms, 1978 Yamaha, 23 years old from Scottville, Michigan. And number 3, a Chaz Major, alongside the Nicolay Bag, 1980 Yamaha, 63 years old from right here in Sault Ste. Marie, the 15 Fred Devano. Then you've got the JRP Salvage, 1979 Yamaha, 40 years old from across the bridge in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada, the number 12, Jake Porco, alongside the Big Daddy Motorsports, 1980 Yamaha, 72 years old from Sheridan, Michigan, the 310 of Bobby Lynn Sr. Then you've got the Bay Area Demolition 1980 Yamaha, 23 years old from Traverse City, Michigan, the 80 Dominic Zerniak, alongside the Hadley Creek Outfitters 1980 Yamaha, 68 years old from Brimley, Michigan, the 11 of Joe Carrick, and last but certainly not least, the Anytime Towing 1973 Viking, 59 years old from right here in Sault Ste. Marie, Dan Crimmen. Feature time. And it's single super stocks, and Chaz Major is your leader. We have never said that ever.
But look at that lead coming out of turn 2. He's got, what, a whole 2 corners on him?
On Dominic Zerniak, who's currently in second spot, the 23-year-old from Traverse City, Michigan. Corey Zerniak was out earlier.
We have one rider off. He's back up and fastening back down the cab there, but he went around, spun off, just slowly fell off that machine.
As a caution comes out.
The rider looks to be plugging the tether cord back in, and
that is Dan Crimmen in the 98X machine.
Yeah, so I saw him. He was coming out of turn 2, and he just lost control and flipped that sled on its side, but just had his hood up and got that machine running. Looks like it's moving slowly, but it's running.
So Chaz Major looking for his 4th win in a row in the single super stocks. The winner in 2022. 2023 event was canceled. But the last 2 years, he's also gone to victory lane in 24 and 25.
Yeah, it's tough to repeat your winnings here and to have that many wins on this track. I know it's probably playing in the back of his head of wanting to get that title again. They did have 1 lap in the books, so we'll see a staggered restart here, typical in that racing fashion. With sprint racing, you have a lap in the books, stagger them up.
Chaz Major has 7 feature wins in the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout. We talked about it earlier. He's in Aaron Christensen territory as far as feature wins here at the I-500. And that's a pretty big name to be associated with. A feature win's a feature win, whether it's 500 laps or it's in the Sioux Vintage Shootout. You can say, hey, I've won so far 7 times at the legendary 1 mile.
Yeah, those are absolutely bragging rights there, and you'll see the flag guy bringing him down to line him up. Typically, what they do is they give that number 1 driver the option whether they want to go the outside or go the inside, and once they establish that, then the rest of the drivers have to line up single or staggered behind him.
So Major, he's going to take that outside line. Figures that's his. We've seen him get some real good starts from out on the outside of the track there.
And typically with a single super stock kind of sled, you can hold these sleds wide open going into the corner. So I think it's probably a wise move with him lining up on the outside. He can hold that, have a bigger swoop coming into turn 1, give him advantage as they go in under the bridge.
First of 7 features in the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout here from the International 500 Snowmobile Racetrack in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
One thing I would like to mention as the sun is going down is you're going to see a couple different things that are required this year. Is you'll see helmet lights. That is an ISR mandated rule requirement. And they also have to have lights on the side of the tunnel. That's also a requirement this year for these drivers. So a couple different rules. If you enter the track and you start the race and your light is working, if there's a red flag and they have to stop it and restart and your light dies, you're allowed to continue racing.
Okay,
as
good to
long as
know.
your light is working when the race first starts.
And those things are fantastic. The visibility, if you're here on the grounds, when these riders go by, the visibility of those helmet lights and that visibility of those lights on the back, really, that's such a good feature that they've added.
How long ago was it, Spanky, when the Cataract Collision Racing machine had the undercarriage lights. It was in the Meyer Pro Shootout. I think it was the first Meyer Pro Shootout.
Yes.
It was the first time we had seen that.
And
Purple lights?
Yeah, the purple lights.
Those were pretty.
Those were awesome.
That machine, that was just so visible. Everybody loved it, and I think they've adopted that. So, Rick Carteret and the gang there, maybe just a thing that they've seen, that how that improved the visibility.
So we went out to Eagle River, actually. So the year that they had that sled, the next year when we went to Eagle River Vintage Weekend, a couple guys had put those on their vintage sled, and when they were going through driver's meeting, the guy that goes through tech, he says, "This is vintage. I don't want to see those lights. Get those off those vintage sleds. They're no modern." It was funny, but now you do see more of those sleds, the vintage sleds. It's really a safety feature, and as the ISR made it a rule to have a light on the tunnel there bumper, and then the helmet lights. One thing I'd like to mention though about those helmet lights is people don't realize we're dealing with very cold temperatures.
Yes.
So you will see many of these drivers not just have one light, they will have multiple. Some of these drivers actually carry an extra one in their pocket as they enter the racetrack, because if they get to the line and their light's not working, they don't want to get disqualified, they don't want to get booted, so they'll
reach in their pocket, slap it on.
Yeah, and I've also seen other drivers grab them out of their pockets and offer them up to other drivers too.
Nice show of sportsmanship for sure.
Can you cut a guy's wire so he gets disqualified?
Of course, man.
We're just talking about sportsmanship.
Oh, right.
Green flag's out, and here we go. Chaz Major out in front. You were talking about Eagle River. Marcy, I have a confession to make. I have never stepped foot on the property in Eagle River, Wisconsin.
Well, FloRacing this year was looking for an announcer, maybe.
Matt Smith told me when we got here on Saturday. He said, "Man, we could have used you in Eagle River."
Yeah, so last year I announced with Chet a little bit, and he said, Marcy, I'm done this year. Next year, would you like me to tell them that you'd like to announce? Well, but we do have a rider off here out of turn 2. The driver is a little slow to get up.
Yeah, right at the outset of turn number 2. Brings out another caution flag.
Didn't get the number on that one, but the rider walking back slowly to his sled.
Oh, it's Bobby Lynn Sr., the 72-year-old from Sheridan, Michigan, just on the outset of turn number 2.
We did see something similar here in the heat races. It took 3 times to really get that race finished. So now we have 2 reds out. So maybe a 3rd time is a charm here to get this feature underway. But you do see that driver walking around on the backstretch there just out of turn 2. Maybe shooken up a little bit. But
talking to Bob Lynn, and I asked him about the number. How did you come up with 310? Well, former competitor at Crystal Motor Speedway on the dirt, but the 3 is for the number. 3 is for the number of kids he has, 1 for his wife, and 0 for how much money he has.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's probably pretty accurate, right?
Yeah, probably.
Because we certainly don't race
for
the money.
You guys aren't banking on Carson's budding career, or
so?
Well.
I'm just reading into that. The Fountain Boys, they run the 00, so I'm kind of getting a reading on what that number means, and if we're going by your terms.
By that term, yeah,
they have no money and no wife.
No money, no
For
wife.
the boys, that's accurate.
Right. Now we got to behave. Rick Federo's back up here in the booth.
Oh boy, we can't misbehave. I already told I was a little too loud.
Yeah, Marcy, you can't say the F word again.
Fun.
Right.
You guys be nice now.
Chairman of the board, Rick Federo.
Everybody's enjoying it at my expense.
Yes, we love you, Rick. That's what it is. It's because we love you.
I know. Likewise.
The godfather of the I-500, Rick Federo. What he needs is my Peaky Blinders hat and a long, black trench coat, and he just walks around.
Yeah.
That's all he needs to do.
It's kind of intimidating.
That's what he needs, though, right?
They bring the sleds up to the line again here as Chaz Major will again grab that outside spot on the track here.
And you see, of course, Bobby Lynn Sr. did get in the side-by-side under his own power, so that's good news. Sheridan, Michigan, outside of Carson City, Michigan, which is down, as we mentioned, Crystal Motor Speedway, great dirt track, 3/8 mile there, and smack in the middle. It's literally central Michigan. It's literally right in the center of the Lower Peninsula. As we get ready for a third time is the Charm restart.
Do you think it's going to be third time as a charm?
It worked before earlier today.
With 2 laps to go?
Maybe.
Green, white, checkered.
Well, features are a little or more laps.
7 laps. Yeah.
7 laps scheduled.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
5
So
sleds
we are
across the
silver,
line.
okay.
The flag is down. We're underway.
There we go. And they're sledding on the big hill there in the middle of the front. Oh, that was a crash. There was not a crash on the racetrack, but there was a big wreck on the hill, snow sledding.
Well, they're kids. They're
Right?
resilient. They're fine. They bounce back.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Chaz Major out in front, looking for career feature win number 8 here on the legendary 1 mile ice oval. Indeed, the features are going to be 3 laps.
Interesting what you had mentioned about if your light goes off. It looks to be like that second and third machine. Maybe the battery power has gone out of those lights. You can clearly see Chaz Major. His light, well, look, take a look when they come by here in this one and just see. But your explanation that if your light goes off, then you still can race.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, it is the cold weather. It does affect these. They're battery-operated lights. So it definitely plays a factor.
1 to go for Major. He's under the bridge here, heading towards turn 1 here. He's got a pretty comfortable lead.
And to your guys' point, it's 13 degrees currently here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, as Chaz Major looking for career feature win number 8. He is a half a lap away from doing so. Joins a pretty elite company here in the history of the International 500 Snowmobile Race Week. As we mentioned before, a feature win's a feature win. Don't care if it's 500 laps, don't care if it's 5 laps. It does not matter. You want a feature here at the I-500.
Yeah, and he's already coming out of turn 4, so he's going to make his way down the front stretch here. That checkered flag is in sight for Chaz Major. Is he going to be able to get to the checkered flag? Because like we said, it's not over until it's over.
It happened to him earlier today.
It happened earlier on the last lap, and the checkered flag flies for Chaz Major here in the single super stock class.
A clean sweep of the single super stock program for Chaz Major. Your winner, second spot to Dominic Zerniak in the 80 machine. Third will go to the number 12, Jake Porco. And finishing in 4th spot will be the 15 of Fred Devano, the former Sault Ste. Marie Blue Devils hockey coach. Coming home in the 4th spot.
That was his father, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Yes,
now I'm thinking about
we
it.
did this last
yes,
year.
You're right.
So
I'm sorry.
His dad.
I didn't update my notes.
That's okay.
Joe Carrick rounds up the top 5. But Chaz Major, career feature win number 8 here at the International 500 Snowmobile Racetrack. And he's got a couple more races to go later today. Maybe, can he get up to 9? Can he get up to double digits?
Only time will tell.
Yes, indeed. Chaz Major, the 23-year-old from Scottville, Michigan, the Wilco's Farms, 1978 Yamaha Enticer. Also support from JB Designs and Major Farms. Chaz Major, your first feature winner of the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout. We'll jump into 340 Fan Super Stocks coming up next. Jeremy Van Hoyk, fast qualifier and a heat race winner. Bruce Brandt was a winner of a heat race as well. Chaz Major was a turn and a straightaway away from winning a heat race.
Yeah, we saw a lot of these vintage sleds already break down in the heat races. So hopefully they went back to their trailers, were able to fix whatever happened and get back on the track for the feature.
Reminder for the Sioux Vintage Shootout teams, at the conclusion of the final feature event, about 30 minutes after the checkered flag, their awards banquet will be right up here in the suite, right behind us here. The Joe Moniz Memorial Broadcast booth, top 3 in each division will get trophies.
Yeah, I was checking out those trophies just a little bit ago. Those are nice looking trophies. Look familiar. Hopefully the FloRacing team can take home one of those today, but we will have to wait and see.
Always pretty cool to look when the lights come on here at the I-500, how the candles light up around this track. What a sight that is. The sun now is pretty much set in the west here, and spectacular view here at the I-500 here as we continue on in vintage night here at the I-500.
340 fan super stocks. Their feature event, part of the Reefer Peterbilt Souvenir Shootout. Big thanks to the fine folks at Reefer Peterbilt down in the metropolitan Detroit area, Auburn Hills, Livonia, several other locations down kind of towards by me. I live in New Haven, Michigan now, about 30 minutes north of downtown Detroit, about 30 minutes south of Port Huron, right there, about 5 minutes from Lake St. Clair.
Okay.
So there's a lot easier trip this time around than coming up from Ohio in recent years. Here's your lineup. The KS & Company Exteriors, 1978 Yamaha, 43 years old from Richards Landing, Ontario, Canada, 75 at Jeremy Van Hoyk. Alongside him, the JB Designs, 1976 Yamaha, 41 years old from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. Did not run the heat races in the feature today, the 57 of Waylon Littleton. Then you've got Joe Carrick, who just finished 5th in the single Super Stocks, a Hadley Creek Outfitters 1978 Yamaha, 68 years old from Brimley, Michigan, and number 11. Alongside heat race winner, the Brandt Sports Center 1978 Yamaha, 61 years old from Sheboygan, Michigan, the 02, Bruce Brandt. And last but certainly not least, the Mullen Excavating 1980 John Deere Sportfire, 53 years old from Suttons Bay, Michigan, the number 70 of Paul Corson, scheduled to go, unable to answer the call. 2 big ones, the 3 of Chaz Major and the 14 of Dan Gallo-Warwick.
Boy, the lead 2 machines come under the bridge here. They're pretty much side by side as they head down into the corner. I believe that is Van Hoyt and Littleton.
Yes, it is.
Battling it out. They're still side by side as they head off turn 2 down the back straightaway.
Waylon Littleton did not participate in his heat race earlier today. Turned a slow qualifying lap, so they elected to skip the heat race, go ahead and work on that machine. And now the former Sylvain Valley Retro Ride, 2-time drag racing champion, his first appearance here at the I-500. He's battling with Jeremy Van Hoyk for that race lead.
They're still glued together as they come off turn 4 again. Coming down to the line here. Who's going to get to the line first? They're side by side as they come off the turn.
Van Hoyk in the 75, Littleton in the 57. White flag. Oh, that's a green flag. Oh, it's white. Oh, it's a green? Okay. And it is Van Hoyk out in front.
Van Hoyt had that advantage as he held to the inside line, so he shot out of turn 2 that last lap and had the advantage as they went down into turns 3 and 4, and still has the advantage as he came down and he goes down the backstretch.
So this feature is 5 laps as we're getting up on there.
All about being smooth in these straight axle snow machines. Here, Van Hoyt was very smooth through the corner there.
It was originally scheduled for 7 laps, but it's 5 laps.
One machine now slow and might take that John
Paul
Deere.
Corson.
Corson with his John Deere might go back down pit road here.
Put the blades back on it, go mow the lawn right around June. It's going to be a while.
Yeah, the winter that we've had, it might be the 4th of July by then.
3 laps completed, 2 laps to go. Jeremy Van Hoyk out in front. Waylon Littleton riding second. And Waylon wanted to remind the fans that the Sylvain Valley Retro Ride is on February 21st of this year. So a little over 2.5 weeks away. The gentleman from across the bridge in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. Snuck in with Spanky Robinson to get here.
Little story about that Sylvain Valley ride. I was one of the people that started that ride with Ryan Mills and the Orchard Boys, and it's growing now. At first, I think we had 7 machines. Now there's well over 100. So It's a great event.
Very, very cool.
And the Ryan and the Orchard Boys continue to do a great job to run that.
White flag to be displayed, 1 lap to go here in the 340 fan super stocks. Jeremy Van Hoyk out in front. He sees that white flag first. He's now enjoying a 2.3 second lead over Waylon Littleton, who's in second. Joe Carrick, the former 3-time Glass Senior Champion, in third in that Bay Mills Racing number 11.
Yeah, Joe Carrick making a lot of laps here on the I-500 track. Just was in the last feature and back out here for this one.
Boy, what memories that brings back, Matt. Waylon Littleton, his grandfather on board that Yamaha that won the I-500. Ken Littleton is with Ted Ritchie in 1978, I believe it was, on a Yamaha. So, you know, it's nice to see second and third generation rider out here. Waylon Littleton, one of those riders.
A gentleman more known for his outlaw super late model exploits up at Laird Raceway, up in Echo Bay, Ontario, Canada. Former super late model track champion Jeremy Van Hoyk is now an I-500 champion. Picks up the win, the 340 Fan Super Stocks. As Waylon Littleton, good run for him in second spot after not participating in the heat race. Joe Carrick finishes in third for a good day for the 68-year-old from Brinkley, Michigan. Finished fifth in the single super stocks. Third here in the 340 Fan. Bruce Brandt comes home in fourth in the 02. But it's Jeremy Van Hoyk, the 43-year-old from Richards Landing, Ontario, Canada. The K&S & Company Exteriors 1978 Yamaha Exciter with support from Venom Racing Products, Woody's Racing Products, and Camso Power Sports. For the Ken Schwartz Racing Team, Jeremy Van Hoyk, his first ever win here at the I-500.
Yeah, I'm sure his crew's probably pretty pumped down there in the pits picking up his first win here.
Now I'm going to have to go to Laird Raceway, Spanky.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to go see Jeremy race.
Good old time there down in Laird, Ontario. Yeah,
Donnie Varco invites me up his daughter Rita, they invite me up every single year. I haven't had an enhanced license because I didn't live in the state of Michigan, so I would have needed a passport to get over to Canada. Well, now I'm a Michigan resident. I've got an enhanced license and I can cross over whenever I want. I can go to Canada, Mexico, the Bahamas, and the Caribbean.
Easy peasy.
Indeed. With an enhanced license because I'm a Michigan resident. Well, we live in a border state. No, you got to get a passport. Matt.
We judge those that don't live in the state of Michigan.
Indeed. We are very judgy here. Yes. 440 Fan Super Stocks coming up next. Was able to go to Flamborough Speedway back in August for the Gold Rush 125 Outlaw Super Late Model race there in Flamborough and just outside of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. It was a lot of fun. Now I have to go to Laird. Thanks to Jeremy Van Hoyk winning that feature. 440 Fan Super Stocks.
Old field.
Yes, indeed. 8 of them. Side by side by side by side.
Ooh, got a couple jumpers.
Couple sleds, the 3 of them jumped. So
they're a little
I don't
antsy
know.
out there.
Maybe what happens there, Mars? The one who caused the jump goes to the back, or do all 3 of those go to the back?
Typically the one that causes
That's what I would think. Yes.
But it really depends on the flag person because today we're looking at all 3 of them in the back. So. It really depends on your flag man or flag girl.
If you're at a hockey game, you would point at them and say, "You can't do that." Green flag, and here we go. 440 Fan Super Stocks. Here's your lineup. First up, the Castle X 1982 Polaris, 45 years old from Saginaw, Michigan. Heat race winner in the 65, Guy Geimer. Alongside him, the other heat race winner, defending race winner, the Wallace Lawn Care 1981 Polaris, 44 years old from Grand Blanc, Michigan, the 66 of Ryan Wolf. Then you've got the Mullen Excavating 1980 John Deere Sport Fire, 47 years old from Interlochen, Michigan, the 80 of Corey Zerniak. Alongside the Fringe Outfitters 1981 Polaris, 55 years old from Deborah, Ontario, Canada, 62 of Keith Mackey. Up next, the Nichols All Service and Hauling 1978 Yamaha, 49 years old from right here in Sault Ste. Marie, the 429 of Jay Nichols. Alongside the Fit Money Coach 1979 Yamaha, 47 years old also from Sault Ste. Marie right here, the 6 of Pete York. Then you've got the Mullen Excavating 1980 John Deere Sport Fire, 53 years old from Suttons Bay, Michigan, the 70 of Paul Corson. And last but certainly not least, it is the Nicolay Bank 1978 Yamaha, 30 years old from Brinkley, Michigan, and 15, Ryan Dulski.
So Ryan Wolf was leading the charge here in that first lap, but I saw Guy Geimer just come shooting out of turn 4. Did you see the same thing?
Absolutely.
He just found some extra speed and he was coming down, and he has a really nice lead here.
He took that inside line off turn 3 out of 4, and he drove it right out in front. He's got a pretty comfortable lead now as he's stretching it out as he comes to the line here.
Guy Geimer, already a heat race winner earlier today. looking to pick up his first win here at the I-500. He's your leader, along with Ryan Wolf, who's in second spot in the 66 machine. Good battle for third with Keith Mackey in third in the 62. Ryan Dolsky is fourth, adding to his lap total this week already. Dolsky in fourth, and rounding out the top 5, it is the number 80 of Corey Zerniak.
Boy, McKay pushed up the track there out of turn 2, and it'll be a challenge for that third spot now as they head down towards 3. But Geimer continues to be dominant here as he's already showing his nose off forward to the front straightaway here.
Now, one thing I noticed, Marcy, and please weigh in, the track looks just outstanding today here already.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was here last night for the skate night, and although there was quite a bit of snow on there, it was that fluffy snow, but the ice underneath was like glass. So you do see they are putting laps on these tracks, so that groove is kind of setting in. These vintage sleds really don't put too much groove in, but you can see the grooves as they progress in. Just a phenomenal job that the track and volunteer workers have put in, and we have a really good battle here.
Yeah, for third place going down the backstretch is the 15 of Ryan Dolsky, the 62 of Keith Mackey. As they battle down the backstretch, they go. Keith Mackey, the second pride of Deborah, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, McKay, he took that inside line and he got around Dolsky, but then Dolsky drove back around him and out on the outside down the back straightaway. So I'm not sure who's going to get to the line first. They continue to be side by side. Looks like one rider off a sled down the far end.
Turn 4.
You can see the
there is a sled, over in turn.
Dolsky, the 15, off in turn 4.
And the red flag comes out as Dolsky off the sled, the 30-year-old from nearby Brimley, Michigan.
He did get that sled under power, and he's already coming down the front stretch here.
You talk about these lights. That straightaway basically a half a mile away, and you could clearly see the light on the rider's helmet when he come off that sled there. What a great thing to do and put these lights on the helmets of these riders.
So you did see the caution flag come out, and they're throwing the checkered. So they did not red flag that race. So the checkered flag is flying. So it looks like Guy Geimer is going to pick up the win here.
Well, the flagman fooled me. He had the red flag. But Guy Geimer, how about that? Geimer, the 45-year-old from Saginaw, Michigan, picks up the win. Ryan Wolf comes home in second.
Yeah, and although Ryan Dolsky came off that sled, it looks like he got it underway and came across still in third.
He was in a battle with McKay. Did he get the third spot? Something happened with McKay's machine?
I'm not sure exactly.
There's
McKay's just coming across the line here. So
look at the race monitor and
yeah, McKay looks like he picked up fourth.
Wow, something must have happened down there. They were battling, and then you said it was the 15 that Dolsky was off the sled, so
right.
McKay must have had some problems down there with his machine, and Dolsky got her going first.
So Guy Geimer picks up his first ever win here at the I-500. So congratulations to Geimer, the 45-year-old from Saginaw, Michigan, the Castle X 1982 Polaris. For Hardway Racing, also support from Hilton Race Products, Woody's Racing Products, Derby Ice Blades, CJ Customs, Unlimited Signs, and Wraps. All supporting Geimer's efforts. And he ain't going to have a whole lot of time to celebrate. He's in the next race, 340 Free Air Super Stocks.
Yeah, I imagine his crew had his sled warmed up and ready for him so he could jump from one sled to the next. But the one thing is nice here is if the flag guys, the workers know that you're going to be in multiple classes, they're really good of waiting, giving you a minute just to kind of regroup. So as long as there's open communication.
Or change sleds if needed. Sometimes. Sometimes?
Not to actually cheat for the same race.
Right, for the same race, right.
Yes, to get a different sled. But most of the time your crews have that sled ready in line for you. It's already warmed up so you can get right on the track. But
they line them up, if you're new to it, they line them up in the kind of in the chutes, they call it, and yeah, they'll give that rider time to get that machine back to his pit area and jump on the other one, and then sometimes I think they have a 2-minute rule or something. If you're on the count and you're working on your machine, they'll give you a couple minutes, but after that, it's race time. They got to go.
Yep, absolutely.
We got 6 competitors for the 340 Free Air Super Stocks getting ready to roll out next. James Von Berg was the winner 1 year ago and has already won a heat race. Oh, Guy Geimer, who you just saw win the last race, the 440 Fan Super Stocks. He was the fast qualifier today in the 340 Free Air Super Stocks. So those two, along with 2018 winner in this division, Jeff Malaska, also in this event. We get wait for them to roll out. That was a stock car term. We'll wait for them to slide out. There we go.
Slide's a good term.
absolutely beautiful looking view at the I-5 West Coast here now. Put it up next, Wes.
We have the 443 in Superstock class. We'll be up on the track here. Just momentarily in the show.
Still a slight breeze in and out, kind of shifted over the northwest now. Here with the racetrack temperature, I'm sure, starting to drop there. The I-500 is my great day. Vintage racing here in
To that sled as they're side by side heading down into turn 3.
Giroux, he likes that high line again. Now it looks to be he's maybe got around to Wolf. Wait and see when they come off turn 4. But I think Giroux has got around now as he comes down the front straightaway. He's going to be your new leader as they head for the line.
Down the front stretch they come. 2 laps completed, 3 laps to go. It is Ryan Wolf out in front, your defending race winner. Winner of heat race number 1. Taken with the race lead. Jake Giroux is right there. Eric Smolinski in third. Also, a quick note. We apologize. We had some quick audio issues. We've been battling today, but we're back on. So we apologize for that. We're all good. That's what today is for. We're getting through the bugs today.
Work all the bugs. Maybe next year we could test this out with the little kids.
They continue on
what
here.
What are you trying to say?
Wolf coming off turn 4. I think Wolf's still your leader. As Giroux in second now as they come down. They'll come across and complete another lap here. I think you'll see Ryan Wolf lead him under the bridge in that TXC Polaris of his.
And he really holds that sled into turn 1. He is on it. You don't really see him let off on that 440.
3 laps completed, 2 laps to go. Ryan Wolf trying to repeat as the winner here in the 440 Free Air Superstocks. The last 2 years have been won by Chaz Major. He's had mechanical problems. He will not win this one today. Looking for a new winner here. It's coming now between Ryan Wolf and Jake Giroux.
Wolf, he's been smooth now as he's got a pretty comfortable lead. He increases it as he heads down towards the line. He's going to look at a white flag. There'll be 1 to go here for your leader, Ryan Wolf, on board his TXC Polaris.
Wolf was the winner in the 440 Fan Superstock 1 season, 1 year ago.
Can he do it again? Just about a half a lap to go for Ryan Wolf on the 66.
He's increased his lead as he heads down the back straightaway as he looks towards that turn 3 area. A couple more corners in a straightaway and he'll have a checkered flag. But here he goes now down through turn 3 out of 4. Your leader in that 66, Ryan Wolf.
Wolf comes out of turn number 4 for the final time. And Ryan Wolf, the 44-year-old from Grand Blanc, Michigan, outside of Flint. He's going to go to victory lane. Winner of the 440 Free Air Super Stocks. Jake Giroux comes home in second. Eric Smolinski and Corey Zerniak rounding out the field. Who's going to get the final podium position? Looks like it's going to be Eric Smolinski, the number 7 machine. And indeed it is. Smolinski in third with Zerniak in fourth. But Ryan Wolf, the winner. The Wallace Lawn Care 1981 Polaris TXC for Wallace Racing. Also support from Flannery Motorsports, Thurlby Automotive, Sanford Lake and Bar and Grill, Mickey Sleds and More, and JB Performance, as well as JB Design. 44 years old from Grand Blanc, Michigan, outside of Flint, my hometown.
Hometowns, old stomping grounds.
Yeah, I got old hometown is Flint, Michigan. I got out before the water got bad, so we're all good.
That's good news.
The tail just fell off like a month ago, so we're all good there. I'm gonna get text now.
I'm gonna dispute that. I don't know if you did get out before the water got bad.
What are you trying to say?
You know what I mean?
What are you trying to say? 2 features yet to go. The F500's coming up next.
Kind of a little biased here, but my favorite.
Oh boy.
Your favorite, Landon Meyer. Landon Mayer, yeah, your favorite, Landon Mayer, winner of the heat race.
Well, I'll take him as my second favorite.
Get the
local driver, but I got my heart goes out to the 19.
Let's get our elbow pads on, Matt. We're going to be getting hit here, I think.
Here's your lineup. Winner of the heat race. It's the Wilder Builders 1992 Polaris. 19 years old from Rudyard, Michigan. The 9, Landon Mayer. Then you got the Triple S Service 1989 Polaris. 42 years old from Wayland, Michigan. Number 10, Mark Suk. Then you got the Lakeside Electric 1990 Polaris Indy. 53 years old from Fenville, Michigan. 16 of Aaron Giles. Up next, the Taser Boatworks, 1980 Polaris Indy, 40 years old from Hessel, Michigan, the number 19, some guy named Dustin Furak. Then you've got the Woodhaven Log and Lumber, 1989 Polaris. The youngest driver on the property, 16 years old from Gatesville, Michigan, and 26, Evan Maciag. They get the Veenstra Farms, 1982 Polaris, 34 years old from Hopkins, Michigan, and 58 of Andrew Veenstra. And last but not least, the Darrell Proctor Memorial Foundation, 1991 Polaris Indy, 39 years old from Trufant, Michigan. The other heat race winner, the 686 of John Proctor.
Again, Dustin nailed that start. He got out into the lead there now, but Mayer comes back as they are already down and out of turn 4 down the line here. Mayer had an outside run. Furak on the inside as they head towards the line to complete lap 1.
Yeah, Mayer charged hard as he came into 3 and came out of 4 and was able to get past the 19 of Furak as they're down into turns 1 and 2 already, followed by Giles there in that 3rd spot.
Boy, did those front 2 ever make it through that corner. Nice runs for both machines as they head down the back straightaway. Furak about maybe 4 sleds back. Landon Mayer, your leader in that number 9 as they head towards turn 3.
Dustin Furak, the 2-time and defending race winner in the F500s, looking for the hat trick, but the first thing he's got to do is solve the 19-year-old from Rudyard, Michigan, the 9, Landon Mayer, as they make their way down the front stretch one more time to complete lap 2.
Yeah, Mayer running straight down the middle here as he heads down the long front straightaway, heading towards the bridge and towards turn 1 here. Your leader, that number 9, Landon Mayer, doing a great job. He's got a little bit more bigger of a lead now on Furak. Furak's starting to get a little heat from that 3rd place machine.
Yeah, that's Aaron Giles. He is a teammate of ours as well on that 16 sled. Furak looked to be losing some power on that sled, and Giles came around on the outside and moved up into that 2nd spot.
So Landon Mayer looking to make the most of his first ever appearance here at the I-500. Out in front, already won a heat race. The 19
Every team is here is going to participate.
First opportunity shaking down with the on test tracks, but not the same here with the high bank set than we'll do at the I-500.
So we got 30 minutes right now to be scheduled Wednesday, February 5th. 9 a.m. it all starts. Final department check-in. Tech continues. And the office as well as here in the press center, everything. All that starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Right now. So get your coffee ready there, Spanky.
I will be up, sure, having my coffee, exactly.
Then from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. it will be final on 500 practice, which will also go on the International 500 Race Facebook page.